Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ibug Buzz for November 29th, 2021, and episode 511. In case you think this is an unfamiliar voice regarding the facilitator role, you'd be absolutely correct, because this is my first time to serve in this role as facilitator, because we have a fifth Monday of the month. That doesn't happen very often, but it has today, I should say. And so I'm the facilitator of this first hour of Ibug Buzz. And of course, Sandhya is here to bail me out when necessary. My name is Terry. And I'm often here, during the Q&A segments, but tonight you get me for a lot more than that. I'm happy to be doing this, and I look forward to hearing lots of good questions. If you are a first timer in this group, we want to remind you that this is a forum for those who have questions or issues regarding iPhones, iPads, iPod touches, Apple Watches, and even Apple TVs. And it's also a forum for anyone who wishes to become more proficient in the use of accessibility features of any of these devices that I just mentioned. So I want to welcome everybody who is joining us here on the Zoom call, and welcome to those who might be listening to the recorded podcast of Ibug Buzz. To keep this call running smoothly, this meeting running smoothly, I want to remind you to stay on mute when you're not speaking. And when you want to ask a question, wait until there's a break in the action. You hear a pause, and then say your name. And then, very important, wait till you're acknowledged by one of the facilitators. Wait till you're acknowledged by either myself or Sandhya. We don't use the raised hand feature that Zoom offers. So this is how we do it. You state your name when the time is right, wait to be acknowledged, and then ask your question or make your comment. We also ask that you not make comments while others are speaking. And we hope that you'll take turns asking questions so that we can get questions from people who maybe, and even answers to questions from people who maybe don't participate in that manner as often as others do. So we can give everybody a chance to become involved in this meeting. Another important thing to remember is that we ask that you minimize background noise, such as phones ringing, talking, TVs, clocks chiming, et cetera, et cetera. So I've talked about muting and unmuting. So now we want to look at the different ways that you can mute and unmute yourself. If you're on an iPhone, your toggle button is going to be at the bottom left corner of your screen. So you can do explore by touch and move your finger to the bottom left of the screen, and it should say mute or unmute, whichever the case may be, and you double tap there, and then if you've been muted, you'll unmute yourself. It should tell you that you're unmuted, and then you can go ahead and speak when appropriate. If you're on an iPad, that mute button or unmute button is going to be at the top center of your screen. On a Windows PC, you can use the keystrokes Alt-A Or you can also use the space bar, like a push to talk kind of thing. You press the space bar and hold it to unmute yourself, and then you release it, the space bar, to mute yourself again. On a Mac, the command is Command Shift A, or the keystroke is Command Shift A. And again, if you don't want to use that option, you can use the space bar as well to press to talk. So you press the space bar to unmute yourself, release the space bar to mute yourself again. And on the good old landline phone, you want to use *6. So you press the star button on your phone, release it, and then press the number 6 on your phone. And the star key is to the left of the 0 on your telephone. So now I think we've covered all of the housekeeping things. Have I forgotten anything, Sandhya, to this point?
It's all perfect. We're all ready to see who's here.
So now I'm going to invite you to introduce yourself. So you'll have to unmute, say your name, and if you're a first-time participant, tell us what Apple products you use and maybe how long you've been using them. So let's see who's here tonight. I know we have quite a few people, so that's a good thing. So unmute yourself and introduce yourselves to everybody.
This is Herbie in Houston.
Hello, Herbie.
This is Raheel from Albany, New York, and I've been using Apple products for, oh boy, since 2016, 17.
Okay, so for a while.
And I'm getting the iPhone 13 Pro.
Excellent. But you're not really new to this group though, right?
No.
No, okay. So, all right. Who else would like
Susan
to
from Houston.
welcome Susan?
Good evening.
Chanel in Houston, and great job, Terry.
Oh, thanks.
It's Claudia in
I
Houston.
appreciate it. Hello there, Claudia.
This is David from Houston.
Hello, Dave. Lots of Houstonians tonight.
Well, I'll break the mold. This is Stephen from Austin. Welcome, Terry.
Hello there, Austin. Steve from Austin.
This is Brad, and I'm in Dallas.
Hello there, Brad.
This is Ned from Kyle.
See, so we have Ned, and where are you from, Ned?
Kyle, Texas.
Kyle, Texas, and then Carol, is it?
Yes, in San Antonio.
Welcome.
This is Helene from Woodstock, New York.
Let's see. Try that again. I didn't.
This is Helene from Woodstock, New York.
Ah, Helene, very nice to have you with us. And someone else chimed in there.
Yeah, this is Sarah from Vermont.
Hello there, Sarah. Welcome.
And Judy from Connecticut.
Hello there, Judy.
Marvin from Chicago.
Jody from New Hampshire.
Hello there, Marvin from Chicago. And who is from New Hampshire?
Jody.
Hello there, Jody. Yes, I recognize your voice.
This is Dan from Southern California. You're doing a great job, Terry.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. The check's in the mail. Who else is with us tonight?
Adam from Chicago.
What is the name?
Adam.
Adam. Oh, okay. Welcome, Adam. I'm from
All right.
Arlington Heights, so all right. We have
Greg from Austin.
Welcome. And who else?
Arlene,
Oh.
Arlene, North Carolina.
Welcome.
This is Dee from Southern Illinois. And hi, Terry. Illinois is taking over tonight.
I think so. Right. I'm going to put my other phone on do not disturb my landline so that, all right. continue on. Who
This
else?
is Sandhya from Houston.
Hello there, Sandhya. I think I remember you. All right. Is there anybody else who hasn't chimed in yet with a hello, with a greeting?
This is Linda from Mumble.
Yay. Good evening, Linda.
Good evening.
Freddie from Galveston area.
Welcome, Freddie. How are you doing?
Fine.
Good. All right. Who else?
Deb from Wichita, Kansas.
Is that Deb?
Deb.
Very
Yes.
good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Mhm. All right. Any others who haven't come in with a welcome yet? All right. Hearing none. And I apologize if you're hearing something in the background here. Hopefully it's going to go away in a minute. I've turned on my phone so it can't ring, and it's sending me this TTY message. And so I just need to get rid of that. But anyway, all right. So now that we've heard from all of you who are with us, I think we're ready for the first question of the evening. So, but remember, there are no dumb questions except for the ones you don't ask. How about since we're just starting off the evening, do we have anyone new who has not asked a question before, or someone who doesn't often have the opportunity to ask a question, who might like to come in and start us off?
This is Greg.
Yes. Good evening, Greg. What you got for us?
Well, I'm running 15.1 on an iPhone XR, and I'm having a new issue that I haven't had in the past. When a lot of times when I respond to an email or a text message, I'll just use the thumbs up emoji.
Mm-hmm.
VoiceOver is not reading that. Is not reading the thumbs up in the text field. It always did, but all of a sudden now it's not.
All right. Anybody have any thoughts about that? Or is anybody else having this issue?
This is Shri.
Yes, Shri.
I am not having this issue. I'm running 15.1.1. So if you're not running the 1.1, you might want to try and update it. But I've not had that issue.
Okay. Did you have it before when you were just running 15.1?
I don't recall having this issue.
Okay. All
This is
right.
Brad.
Brad, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I haven't had this issue in any of the recent versions of iOS. I use the thumbs up quite a bit. And you're saying you don't get it when it's in the text field. I'm wondering if you hear it after you send the message. But either way, I would suggest, number one, toggling VoiceOver off and then back on again. I don't mean mute the speech. I mean, turn VoiceOver completely off. I usually do that by asking Siri to turn off VoiceOver and then turn it back on. The other thing I would suggest is, I'm bad about this, I never turn my phone off. So it's a good idea, I don't know, every so often to, shut the phone completely down and then reboot it again. And that clears a lot of things. It clears the cobwebs out and might make it run a little bit better.
This is Roy.
Yes, Roy, go ahead.
There's an option in VoiceOver verbosity at the bottom, has to do with speaking emojis. Perhaps that got turned off somehow.
Okay.
This is Greg.
Yes, go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I've turned it in the verbosity. I've turned the speak emojis. I've got that toggled on. I made sure that image descriptions was on. I've turned off screen recognition. I don't know. I've never had this problem before. So it's 15.1.1 doesn't download onto a 10R. It's an older phone, but
really?
I think this just happened with 15.1. I was just curious to see if other people had experienced that. But thank you.
This is Brad.
This is Raheel.
Yes, Raheel. I'm gonna see before I'll come back to you, Brad. But let's see what Raheel has to say first.
So I haven't played with it at all, but you could do you could try and see if you can like soft reset, which is volume up, volume down, and then the side button for 10 seconds until the Apple logo appears. Then VoiceOver will turn on after that.
Mm-hmm. And if you can't see the logo, then you really want to count to 10. So you get your about 10 seconds. That's how I do it. Because I don't see the screen at all. Have you tried that yet, Greg, where you've done a soft reset or turned your phone off and then turned it back on?
This is Greg.
Yes.
Yeah, I've done the reboot with the volume up, volume down, and side button. Yeah. So.
This is Shree.
Let's see. Brad had something, and I think Herbie, and then we'll come back to you, and then we're going to move on. I think.
This is Brad. I was going to say that 15.1.1 seems to not be available on all phones. I'm not really sure what it was. I think it addressed some issues in some of the newer iPhones, so it may not be available on the older ones. It's not that, if you're running 15, there's no compatibility problem. I have an original iPhone SE that I use like an iPod Touch. It's not activated, and it won't get the 15. It does not seem to show in software update to 15.1.1, but it did show on my 12 Pro. So it's that thing's not available on all versions. So
maybe because 15.1.1 doesn't need to address issues with the older phones. Is that what you're saying?
This is Brad. Yeah, I think that's the case. I think I read something about it. 15.1.1 fixed some phone call issue on the iPhone 12 and 13s, but I don't think it affected earlier versions, so it's probably not available on older iPhones.
All right, Shree, what have you got?
I was just going to say one thing. Have you noticed this issue with any other voiceover behavior? Or is it just this like it's not being read?
This is Greg.
Yes.
No, I haven't noticed it with any other, no other issues. I've tried it in the Notes app, the Messages app, and the Mail app, and it's all doing the same thing. The text area, any text I type into the text area will read, but the emojis will not read.
Okay. And last but not least, Herbie.
Pretty much most of my questions were stolen. I guess, well, not stolen, asked. So it's all the emoji. When you say the emojis won't read, is it just like when you're reacting to a message, or like the emoji keyboard?
This is Greg. The emoji keyboard reads fine. It's just when I type it into a text field, then VoiceOver won't read the emoji, the thumbs up, or whatever emoji I have in the text field.
It won't recognize that you've put it in there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can read the emoji, but it just won't recognize that it's actually in there.
That it's being typed in. Yeah.
One thing you could try is I wonder if you can reset the emoji keyboard. I think you can turn it off and turn it back on in the keyboard settings.
This is Greg.
Yes.
Yeah, when I'm using touch typing, when I drag my finger around the emoji keyboard, I mean, all the descriptions of all the emojis read. It's just when I lift my finger to type it in text field and then go to the text field, put focus on the text field, then it doesn't read that there's an emoji there.
Right, but now have you confirmed that the emoji is there or not?
Yes.
Okay, I think it sounds like when all else fails, maybe you might need to contact Amazon tech support, but
Amazon tech support?
I don't mean Amazon, iPhone, Apple tech support.
No,
Thank
my
you.
suggestion was the real quick. This is Herbie, sorry.
Go ahead.
My suggestion is, because I don't think it's going to hurt anything, see if you can go into the keyboard settings under general and, deactivate the emoji keyboard and then reactivate it, something that I forget if you can do that or not, but if you can, something to try at least.
All right. So, well, all right.
And sorry, this is Herbie. One other thing. Did you check to make sure your describe images is on?
This is Greg.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Described images is on. Yeah. Okay. And we probably need to move on, but
yes.
thanks,
we do.
Thanks for your ideas.
I think we have a different problem than what we originally think about. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, this is Sandhya. Okay, just remember everybody, Terry Ann is the facilitator and she needs to acknowledge everybody. So please follow the rules. Thank you.
All right. Who has the next question? Okay. Do we have anybody in particular? I'm thinking of anybody who has not asked a question in recent times and who has a burning question for something that isn't quite working right, or you want to know about something.
Susan.
Okay, let's see if I'll come back to you, Susan, I promise. Let's see if somebody else has a question.
Okay. This is Chanel.
Yes, Chanel.
Okay, well, now I have to pick because I just thought of two questions.
Okay.
So, so how about does anybody know what is best practices for the iPhone Magsafe Charger? Is it harmful to leave it on all the time? And then I've also wondered along with that, sometimes it seems like my phone will switch to speakerphone more quickly when I'm on Zoom with the case on. I don't know if anybody else has encountered that, but there you go.
All right. Anybody with any thoughts about those issues? Somebody who we haven't heard from yet tonight. Okay.
This is Shri.
Yes, Shri.
So Chanel, I just want to get a clarification. Are you talking about a case, a MagSafe case, or are you referring to a MagSafe Charger?
I'm sorry, it's the charger. It goes on my case. I mean, it can go on the phone or the case, but it's the charger. Sorry.
This is Shri.
Yes, go ahead.
So I have not had that issue. My first question is, are you using an Apple Mac case or are you using a third party?
I'm pretty sure. No, this is Apple. Yeah, this is Apple.
Okay. And I'm sorry, this is Shri.
Yes.
And so you're saying that because you have it on MagSafe Charger, it's the speaker is kicking in? Is that the question? Or?
Yeah, I noticed that sometimes when I'm on Zoom or whatever, and I'm just I know I don't probably use headphones as much as I should, but if I'm on Zoom or trying to think if it's happened on Clubhouse, but yeah, it seems like maybe it's, I have the case placed in an awkward position or something, but it's supposed to just, sit right there on the back. So who knows?
Okay. All right. And then let's see, your other question was, I forgot what you.
Oh, does it harm the phone to leave the MagSafe charger on? Because I can snap it off, but it's easy enough to also just carry it around with the charger on. So
Mhm.
I was just wondering.
Anybody?
This is
with-
Shri. Chanel,
see
are
if-
you talking about Magsafe Charger or are you talking about Magsafe Bank?
It's a little thing that sticks on the back of the phone.
That's the bank.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah, this is
apologize.
Herbie.
Okay, so let's see if anybody else has any thoughts first. You have a Matt.
This is Herbie.
Yes. Let's see if somebody that maybe we haven't heard from
Oh
yet.
no, I wanted to clarify something real. What Chanel's
Okay,
what Chanel
go ahead.
has. She has the Apple Chart, the MagSafe battery pack that Shri had demoed several months ago. So that's the
Okay.
MagSafe charger that she's talking about. It's that new Apple MagSafe, little doohickey that you put to that. I can't remember, but Shri, you know what I'm talking about because you demoed it several months ago. So,
So the question here is whether or not it's safe to leave it on the phone or should you take it off periodically?
Yes.
So does anybody have any thoughts about that? Anybody who's now using the MagSafe chargers? That's kind of one of the newer devices out there for charging things. Any thoughts?
This is David.
Yes, David.
What is the charger constantly trying to charge the battery? Does it know, or does it know when it's low and then starts kicking in?
This is Chanel. I think
Go ahead.
it's supposed to keep it at around like 90%.
Oh, okay. Because I read one time where you should not charge your battery till it gets down to like around 40%. That's kind
Right.
of like the sweet spot. Because if you keep it too high in that high 90 to 100 range all the time, it puts more wear on the battery. Oddly enough, you'd think you leave it, charged all the time, it would save the battery, but it actually kind of makes it worse. At least that's what I've been reading. I don't know. It seems like there's also other rules, other opinions, but
this is Herbie.
Let's see. I think I heard Shri first, and then we'll come to you, Herbie.
So I have a battery pack and I use it, and when I'm using it, I use it till I don't need it or till it's dead. When I say dead, I'm talking about the battery pack is dead, then I'll charge it. So the way these batteries work is not based on, the charging and uncharging. It's mostly how much it drains and then it charges back up. That's the issue. So I don't think there's any issues if it's at 40% and use the battery pack and it reaches back to 100%, because then it's going to stop charging anyway, because it's smart enough to know that it's hit the 100% capacity. So I've used it till it completely drained the battery pack, and I've had no issues with it.
All right. I'll come back to you, Herbie. Any other thoughts before I go back to Herbie?
Actually, I had a question for Shri regarding how the battery pack worked, but okay.
Any thoughts from anybody else regarding if you've read anything about the battery safety or battery concerns when it's being charged?
This is Dee.
Yes, Dee.
Okay, I don't have an answer for Chanel, but hearing these people talk has made me come up with a question. May I ask it now?
Yeah, hang on one second. Let me hear your clarification, Herbie, and then I think we'll move on to Dee's question.
All right, thank you. So my question is, Shri, I thought, maybe I'm wrong, when you demoed this several months ago, it was my understanding that the battery pack automatically engages when the phone gets to a certain percentage. Am I wrong, or does it always keep the phone charged?
This is Shri.
Go ahead.
As soon as you put the battery pack into the phone, it's charging the phone if the phone is not being charged by, if it's not plugged into a charger. So as soon as you plugged in, it's sending charge to the phone.
Okay. All right, I wanted that clarification. Perfect, thanks.
And D, what is your question?
Okay. I've heard them throwing out two things, a Magsafe Charger and a Magsafe Bank. I think they said. What is the difference between those two items?
Somebody who hasn't had a turn yet want to tackle that question. What is the difference between a Magsafe Charger and a Magsafe Bank? Anybody?
This is Herbie. If nobody else wants to tackle it.
Yeah. Let's see if anybody else wants to come in here and tackle that one. A Magsafe Charger or a Magsafe Bank? Who else might know the difference? All right, go ahead, Herbie. I'm guessing
So
nobody
there's
else
the
does.
actual. Okay, so what there was some confusion earlier. There's no such. Okay, so a MagSafe charger. What we're talking about here is it's this little device that goes onto the back of the phone. But what Chanel also has is a MagSafe case, which there's two types of MagSafe cases. There's just regular cases, and then there's cases that also have a battery in them. This is just a regular case, but what the case does is it allows you to use an external MagSafe device that is, like in this case, the battery pack, which goes onto the back of the phone. So there was a bit of confusion there as to whether Chanel, with the speakerphone issue, was it the case causing it or the actual battery pack attached to the case. Now, there is such a thing as a power bank. I don't think there's a MagSafe version, and a power bank is just basically another term for a portable battery, and they come in all different sizes depending on what it is you're wanting to charge, from the small lipstick type batteries that have a single charge to the humongous battery portable power banks that you would use to charge a laptop computer. So does that clarify your question there, Dee?
Oh, this is D.
Yes, go ahead.
Not sure because they were saying MagSafe Bank. I know what a power bank is.
Right.
Okay, so there is no actually MagSafe Bank.
No.
Okay.
Not
Well, it
that I'm
seemed
aware
like
of,
that was being thrown out.
No, it's just another term for power bank. In this case, we're talking about.
Okay, and somebody just attached MagSafe to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Shall we move on to the next question? Somebody who hasn't had a chance yet, who might have a burning question.
This is Dan with a question.
Yes, go ahead, Dan.
Okay. Regarding the native email app that comes on all the iPhones, one feature in that is that a person can archive a message. So I have archived 2 messages, but my question is, how does one go about retrieving the archived message? I haven't figured that out yet.
This is Nancy.
Okay, let's see. We have Nancy, and then was there somebody else as well? I don't want to overlook somebody after Nancy. Okay, maybe it was just a screen reader. Okay, Nancy, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say it was probably my screen reader talking.
Okay.
So when you go into your, you can go to mailboxes, go to the back button and swipe down through your mailboxes, and you'll see the archive mailbox. You'll see like the inbox and the send and drafts, and in that there's trash. There is an archive mailbox, and you just double tap on that, and then you can see the messages that are in that mailbox. And you can also create mailboxes by going up to the back button on mailboxes and do edit. And then you can find the create new mailbox there as well. That's a really quick and simplified version of how to create a mailbox. And it'll just be in your list of mailbox in the iCloud, mail. If you have Gmail, you can also get your email in different mailboxes as well.
Okay, this is Dan. But I
Yes,
simply
go
want
ahead.
to retrieve the archived message. So apparently, what you're saying, Nancy, is that if you go back, go down that list, and after you've archived a message, go down the list and find the archive button, which is down at the bottom under just alone, and you just double tap on that. That'll bring up your archived message. Is that correct?
Go ahead, Nancy.
Yes. You just double tap on it and then you can see all the messages in that folder. I think it's called folders on the in mail, not mailboxes.
Okay, thank you.
Does that do it for you? That gives you what you
That
need?
does it for me. Let's see what Jody has to say.
Terrific. Go ahead,
Herbie, real
Jody.
quick.
Yeah,
Jody?
when I'm in the inbox, there's a search box at the top of the page, and if I type in the subject or the sender in that search box, it even searches through all the mailboxes, including the messages that I've archived. So sometimes I've accidentally archived a message and oh darn, what was that about? And I'll search for it and I'll find it right away.
Mm-hmm. Just by doing a search.
Yes.
But you have to put in the this is Dan. You have to put
Yes,
in
Dan.
the name of the name of the sender or the subject or what to search for.
Either one. It will show up.
Okay.
All right.
This is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
So, Dan, if I understand, part of your question was also to mail retrieval from the archive folder, correct?
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, Herbie, that's correct. I just
So, have
wanted
you
to retrieve
tried
the
when you go
archive
to the
message.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So, so on the when you're in the archive mailbox, the way Nancy described, you should be able to either by swiping down or they're going into the messages and look for the move button. I believe you can still move messages from archive back into the inbox with, like if you swipe down to move message, or there should be a button for it once you open the message, and that should let you move it back into the inbox. So I wanted to mention that as well if you wanted it back in the inbox.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Yep.
Very good. Did I hear someone else? Okay, all right. Who has another question? Who hasn't had a chance to ask one yet?
This is Nancy.
Yes, Nancy.
This is kind of a dumb question and I should know the answer.
Oh, wait a minute.
I
What did
know.
we say?
Oh, I
There.
might have missed that.
Go ahead, Nancy.
There is a way to, on the iPhone, change from just characters when you're typing in a note or something like that, to have it say the word when you hit the space bar. What is it? I cannot find it I've looked in accessibility, voiceover accessibility, I've looked in typing, and I know I miss it. It's a simple thing. I just can't figure out where it is.
So you're wanting to know how to get your phone to read words instead of just simply characters.
This is Nancy.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
So once I type like if I'm saying, "Hi, how are you?" I want it to say when I type if I'm using the keyboard instead of dictation, and I say, HI and then space, is there a way on the phone to have it say hi and then HOW, how? I know you can do it on the computer, but I'm just wondering if I thought you could do it on the phone as well, and I just haven't found that magic setting.
All right.
This
Who
is
would
Roy.
like to? Yes, Roy.
Nancy, I think what you're talking about was using the keyboard. I heard you say something about dictation, but if you go to voiceover to typing, it's in there. You know, if you,
Because it's key echo. I'm sorry, this is Nancy.
Yes, go ahead.
It's
Hang on one second. Whoever's using their screen reader, could I ask you to mute yourself, and then if you found whatever it is you need, then come back and let us know what you've got. Thanks. Go ahead, Nancy.
So I'm using the on-screen keyboard, not a mechanical keyboard. I just wanted to clarify that.
it would still be the same, you know, if you didn't want to hear the character, when you hit the space bar, I think if you went to voiceover, to typing, to keyboard echo, I think maybe what it's called. But I think that'll work with your touch screen as well.
It's Nancy. Thank you. I'll try that.
Good luck.
This is Dan.
Yes, Dan.
I think also you might want to check into verbosity under voiceover. I think there's an option in there to change it.
Okay. All right.
This is Nancy.
Yes, Nancy, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Dan. Can you say what you just said again? I was looking for that setting.
Go ahead, Dan.
Oh, okay. I was just suggesting that possibly bring up voiceover in settings and then get into verbosity. I believe there's a setting in verbosity, either verbosity or like the other gentleman said keyboards, but I think it's verbosity where you can change it to have it to say words instead of characters. Also, I think you might be able to do it in the rotor.
This is Greg.
Yes, Greg.
If you go to voiceover and typing, one of the options under the typing is feedback. And I think that's where you select your either characters, words, or characters and words.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Anybody else with thoughts? Somebody mentioned the rotor.
Audio now unmuted.
Michael.
Yes, Michael.
Just to add to what Greg was saying, once you get there, it also has a breakdown between the on-screen software keyboard and hardware keyboards. You can do those independently.
All right.
This is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
So to clarify, I don't think you can adjust that in the rotor. I think what that is for is where you see the characters and words. That's for when you're using your one finger swipe up or swipe down gesture to read back to you what's on the screen. And that's what that characters and words for. So yeah, like everybody else said, what Nancy's looking for is under typing. And there is a difference between, like Michael said, the software and the hardware. The rotor is just for your reading, your characters, your words, lines, all that jazz. So I don't think you can adjust the typing feedback in the rotor.
You cannot, right? But you can read. That's what I was thinking of. You can read your item character by character, or if you have words in your rotor, then you could read it word by word or line by line, whatever you choose to put in your rotor. That's kind of what I was thinking about. Maybe somebody else was too. All right. Does that give you something to work with there, Nancy?
This is Nancy.
Yes, ma'am.
I just found it. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. All right. Good job, everybody. All right. I think we have time for another question from somebody.
Michael?
Yes, Michael.
Yeah, so occasionally I run into an issue where, I use tap the screen to wake it up just to see what time it is. And occasionally that just goes away, or it doesn't operate. And I have to hit on my phone, well, I got a 13, the side button to do the wake up. And the only fix I've been able to do is to just reboot my phone. And I was just curious if anybody else has encountered that.
Okay. My guess would be that if your phone was sleeping, maybe that's why it doesn't know what time it is, but that's probably not what you want to hear. So anybody else having that problem or have any thoughts about how to fix that, how to solve that problem?
This is Dan.
Yes, Dan.
I just need some clarification from Michael. I don't quite understand what you're saying, what the problem is. You want it to give you the time, and it's not giving you the time every time you hit the unlock?
Yes, Michael, go ahead.
Sorry, Michael. When you tap the screen, it'll wake it up if it's asleep.
Right.
And the first response that VoiceOver does is tell you the time. So I'll use that to, just check the time sometimes. But occasionally that doesn't operate any longer. That touch the screen to wake does not work. And so then I have to end up hitting the side button. But once it gets to that point, the only fix I found is just to reboot, and then it goes back to working properly again. I'm just curious if anybody else has encountered that.
Okay.
This is Dan. I think it has to do with the unlock, with the time that you want the display to be locked or unlocked. You can go into settings and deal with display and have it stay on or stay off. You know what I'm saying, Michael? How long you want it to be active or non-active? That little setting, and it just has to do with display in settings.
Yeah, I understand. To make it go to sleep, there's that setting where you can do it, a certain number of minutes or never or whatever. But what I'm talking about is it's already asleep, and so then you can tap the screen to wake it, and that feature does not operate. Is what I'm encountering it occasionally.
Sandhya.
Brad.
Yes, Sandhya.
Just real quick, has it ever worked properly, Mr. McCulloch, on your new phone?
Normally it works fine, but I'm just saying, at
Okay.
some point it just stops working, and then I have to reboot to make it get it to work again.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, and Brad?
Yeah, I don't use the tap to wake feature, so I wondered, Michael, when you do tap it, are you sure it wakes up? Is it just like VoiceOver focus is not on the time? It's on something else? Have you tried swiping left or right once you tap it to see that it actually has woken up?
Yeah, I do. I have checked that. There's just no response at all.
Interesting.
The swipes or anything. So.
This is Shri.
Yes, Shri. One
So,
more
Michael,
comment and then we're going to move
Is
on.
tap to wake part of the accessibility settings?
I don't think so. I think that's just a general feature.
I'm just wondering if this is the issue where the touching on the screen, like I don't have that issue, but I have issues where I do something on the screen with my gestures and it doesn't respond. And I'm just trying to figure out if that's just the kind of behavior. Are you seeing this behavior other places where you touch the screen and you're not getting a good response back?
Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, it's only when it's asleep, and then that tap to wake doesn't work. And then nothing I do on the screen will register.
And then you have
that's where I can either hit the side button to wake it and then everything's back to normal, or I reboot and then the tap screen to wake works again.
All right. Well, it doesn't sound
Anyway,
like we have
yeah,
a
I'm just curious if
solution
anybody
for
else
you.
encountered it. So
Yeah, it doesn't sound like anybody else has at this point, but maybe, who knows, we might revisit this another time. So, all right.
I've not encountered it on other. It's just been on this new phone 13
Just a new phone.
Pro that I've gotten.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
All
May
right.
I ask a question?
Your name is?
Xavier. Hi.
Yes, Xavier. Welcome.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. While I'm reading a Kindle book, I like to select text, and so I can copy it and paste. How do you select when I wrote it doesn't have the selection, so I can select the text and copy it and maybe paste it in a folder or something? How can I do that?
All right. Who would like to help him with that? Perhaps somebody from whom we haven't heard yet. Who might be a Kindle book reader, perhaps.
This is Roy.
Yes, Roy, go ahead.
I want to share how I do it, and hopefully somebody will have a better solution. When you're scrolling page to page by doing a 3-finger flick to the right or left, it'll read the entire page with voiceover. And after it reads, you can do a 3-finger quadruple tap to select it to the clipboard. But that's all you can get is that one page. Or you can rotor over the line and flick straight down and it'll read the line. Then you could do the 3-finger triple tap. But is there a better method that anybody's aware of than that? But that should help, Xavier, what I just described with the 3-finger swipe to the right or left. It should read the screen, then do your 3-finger quadruple tap to copy what voiceover spoke. But that's just one screen at a time.
At a time, okay.
Brad,
Yes, go ahead, Brad.
I understand he wants to copy the entire document to the clipboard. I believe if you go in your rotor, there should be a select text option. And when you're in select text, you can then flick up or down and you have the choices of character, word, line. I believe there's an option in there for select, entire document. And then once you've flicked up or down to entire document, you then, or select all, maybe what it says, you then take one finger and flick from left to right and it will select the entire document. And now it's all highlighted. And then you want to use your rotor to edit. And when you get to edit, you should flick up or down till you get to copy. And then you double tap and you have just copied it all to the clipboard. As an alternative, when you have set your rotor to edit, and even before you have done the first step of selecting the entire document, there may be, and sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. I haven't figured out the rhyme or reason to this. There should be an option in edit to copy all or something like that. It's not always there, but it's there.
Yeah, it's not there. Yeah, just select the whole text. It goes
in the edit.
line.
Okay, wait, gentlemen,
Right,
let's do this orderly. Okay, Xavier, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, there's not a way you can select the whole text. You can do line and I believe characters and when you're in a Kindle, but it's not to select like the whole text.
Okay, Brad, you were going to say.
Brad, oh, you're in the Kindle app?
Yes.
The Kindle app may work different. So that's why when Roy was talking about you're swiping left or right to go from page to page. And if VoiceOver then reads the entire page and you let it go nonstop, that's when you have to do the 3-finger quadruple tap. Yeah, I don't think you can use the method I was talking about if you're in the Kindle app.
Okay, right. Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry, who else was wanting to come in?
It's Nancy.
Nancy, go ahead.
I'm curious with well, I think you can in Apple Books copy things, but sometimes there's the copyright issue, and so sometimes you can't select text because they don't want you to copy it. So I don't know if that might be an issue as well.
Okay.
I'm not really that familiar with Kindle myself, but that was a guess on my part.
This is Shri.
Yes.
So I don't use the Kindle, but I just had a question. Do you know if you can get the virtual keyboard to come up while you are reading the Kindle book or using the Kindle app?
I haven't tried it, but I didn't see the. I'm sorry, you were talking to me, Xavier?
Yes. Yes, go ahead, Xavier.
I didn't try to bring the keyboard up, but it wasn't there. I know that. I didn't try to bring it up.
Right.
This is Shri.
Shri, go ahead.
Because the reason I ask is right above the keyboard, if it does come up, if it doesn't come up, then what I'm saying doesn't even apply. But if it does come up, one of the tool options that you get above the keyboard is select all. It's usually select a word or select all. So you only have those two options. So I was just curious if the virtual keyboard comes up and see if that toolbar is available for you.
This is Roy.
I'll try it, but I didn't see it.
Okay, real quick, Roy, and then we're going to move on to maybe a real quick question if somebody
Okay,
has
I
one.
was just going to say, there is no edit mode at all in the Kindle app, so you don't get a keyboard. If you do a single finger double tap, it opens up a menu. So that's not an option. That's all I was going to say.
Okay.
All right. Does that help, Xavier?
This is Shri.
It's giving me a place. Okay. Yeah.
Xavier, go ahead. Does that help you?
No, I wasn't. Yeah, Shri was saying something.
No, I know, but I was just asking you if that.
Oh yeah,
you
it gives me a
something to
start.
do.
It gives me. Yeah, now I know what I'm dealing with pretty much.
Great. Okay. And Shri, is this a different question or?
Just one quick question.
Yes.
Do you know if a 1-finger triple tap works on the Kindle app?
I didn't try it.
Okay. All right. And you've actually done me a huge favor, Xavier, because or whoever was mentioning how to select text, because that was one of the things I was wanting to demonstrate. So later on, maybe in our bites segment, I'll do that because I did want to demonstrate how to select text and then how to copy it to the clipboard and then paste it to something else. So that was one of the things I was thinking of. So thank you guys for reminding me of that because I could not think of it for my life. All right, Sandhya, let's see. We have just about only a few seconds left. So maybe I should just go ahead and turn it over to you at this point.
Okay.
And you can go on to the next thing. And thank you all for your good questions.
Wow, very good. Wow, lots of good questions. Great job, Terry Ann. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So we're at the midpoint of our call, and this is when we give everybody a chance to say hello if you didn't get to come around the first time. So say who you are, where you're from, please.
Nancy Stevens from Bend, Oregon.
Hey there, welcome.
Shri from Virginia.
Hey, Shri.
Kathy from Tulsa.
Kathy, welcome from Tulsa.
This is Joe from Norman, Oklahoma.
Hey, Joe, we missed you. Glad to have you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Nikki from San Francisco.
Hey, Nikki, welcome.
Hi.
Jim from PA.
Okay, Jim from PA and Xavier from Atlanta.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, glad to have you, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Michael from TX.
Good evening, sir. All right, anybody else? TX. Okay, well, Thank
Hey,
you.
Lisa and Porter.
Hey, girl, welcome.
Hey.
Anybody else want to say hello? Okay, real quick, I'm just going to go over some announcement. It's another busy week for Ibug, y'all. Okay, we're getting from November to December, and oh my goodness. Okay, so tomorrow we have the mini buzz on Clubhouse from 5 to 6. All times mentioned are Central Time. And okay. All right. So then on Wednesday from 5 to 7, we have the Mac Buzz on Clubhouse once again. So looking forward to that. Then Thursday, we have Trekkie Talk here, and that's on Zoom. And we'll be watching episodes 7 and 8 of season 3 of the Discovery series. And this is an important episode, important meeting, because we're going to be deciding where we go from here, what series. We're almost coming to the end of this series. So, all right. So come in. If you have an opinion, come and share that at the meeting. All right. That's at 8 p.m. Central Time. Then we have, let's see, Friday. Well, we'll come back to Friday. Saturday we have Ibug Unplugged. And this is where we get to have a little fun, no training. It's all about getting to know one another. And the topic is Christmas traditions from all over the world. And it's all about different customs, different faiths. And so I think it should be really interesting. So please come and share your traditions with the group. Okay, and then, well, we have the Ibug Night at the virtual movies, and that takes place on Friday night. But wait a minute, hold on, I forgot one more thing. I forgot all of our social media. Real quick, ibugtoday.org is our website. Facebook is facebook.com/group/ibugtoday. Great place to post questions and answers between these meetings. We have a Twitter account, is at ibugtoday. We have a mentoring program. If you need help with your iPhone and would like to get some help, fill out the application on our website. If you want to volunteer and help somebody else, fill out the application to do that as well on the website. And then we'll match you up with one of our amazing advanced users. And all of our training is free. Please register on our website. It doesn't cost anything. Go to the register, fill out your name and email, and then you'll get all notifications of upcoming events. And with that, we will come back to Ibug Night at the virtual movies. And with those amorphous clues is Mr. Amorphous himself. Mr. Ibug Guy, are you out there?
Oh, well, I never was ever a cat so clever as magical Mr.
What is that?
Yes, I am here. Welcome back. Oh, you welcome me back. Okay, thank you. Glad to be here again. We are ready for our Friday night movie clues. But before we get into that, I wanted to talk a little bit about body parts.
Oh, no.
Some body parts that may be not that well known. Does anybody know what agnestis is? ACNESTIS, agnestis.
I think you have too much time on your
Whenever
hands.
you, oops, is somebody guessing?
No, I think you have too much time on your hands. Go ahead.
Yeah, whenever you have that itch on your back in that middle section, no matter which way you reach from, you just can't seem to reach it. Well, that's your agnestis. How about if you hold your hand up with your palm facing away from you and then spread your fingers, and then if you feel in between your thumb and your index finger, you'll feel a little kind of a triangular indentation. Anybody know what that's called?
This is Jim.
Jim.
Got a solution for the last one. That's what you use a door jam for, to scratch that area of your back.
Yeah, a tree, or that's why they invented the back scratcher. Well, anyway, this is the Anatomical Snuff Box. The space in between your thumb and index finger. Anybody have an idea why they call it the Anatomical Snuff Box? Should be obvious.
Snuff in it.
That's where
Because that's where you
would put
measure,
snuff
help
in
to measure
there.
your snuff at. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Very good, very good.
Before you snort it.
Is that where you put your salt when you're drinking a margarita?
No, the salt goes around the rim of the glass.
All right, let's keep going, people.
How about the Canthus? Cantus. That's where your upper eyelid and lower eyelids meet on the intersection there by your nose. That little section is called the canthus.
Okay,
This is why I failed biology.
done. Let's move on.
How about the dimples of Venus? Anybody know what the dimples of Venus are?
Mr. McCulloch.
Maybe you've heard of them called butt dimples.
Oh my goodness.
It's those little dimples just at your lower back, right above your butt. Those are the dimples of Venus.
All
Yes,
right.
yes.
You're losing
All
your
right, one more.
No more.
The glabella. This is an important one.
Oh gosh. More important than butt dimples? What could possibly be more important than butt
Glabella.
dimples?
That's the area just above your nose, in between your eyebrows, assuming you're not one of those people with a unibrow.
Okay, thank you.
But the important part,
What's the
Thank you, butt
filter?
dimples. Come on, let's go.
The important part of that is if you were to pinch that area and then let go, and if it still has a little protrusion there after you let go, that means you're dehydrated.
Oh my
All right.
goodness.
Fun facts.
What's the filtrum?
That has nothing to do with anything we're doing.
Moving
Go ahead.
on. All right. Now it's time for
What was that?
All right, we are going to have some fabulous clues. And just like always, don't yell out the title of the movie. We don't need description of the movie or who plays in the movie. We just need the title. So, clue number one. Our film this week is a belly flop into the sea of romantic comedy.
Oh no.
Ding, 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 ding. There's only 100,000 or more.
It could be Overboard. This is Jim.
Overboard, yeah.
Oh, that's a good guess, but that's not the one we're seeing this week.
This is Shri.
Go ahead, Shri.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid is almost not even close. Okay. Now, clue number
Jim.
2. Hang on, Jim. Give me another clue. You'll get to go first. It feels a little like a gourmet meal that turns into a hot dog eating contest. Go ahead, Jim.
Then it ain't Splash.
No, it ain't Splash.
This is Terry.
Terry.
Do they eat Nathan's hot dogs?
I wouldn't know about that, actually.
Just wondering.
That would give you a little better clue if it was Nathan's hot dogs, yes. All right.
Shri.
Kathy, and then Shri, and then we're moving on. Go, Kathy.
Is it big?
Big, big, big. No. Sorry. Go ahead, Shri.
Meatballs?
Meatballs. No, sorry.
Okay, we're done. Move on.
All right. Just remember the time of the year, too. Maybe that'll be nice.
You can't tell them that.
Oh.
Okay, go
All
on.
right. Clue number 3. It has an all-star gallery of dependable romantic comedy stars.
You're gonna have to go on.
All-star cast of, or gallery of dependable. romantic comedy stars. Okay.
Oh, you're gonna give it away?
Brad.
Oh, Brad.
Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation. I don't think that's a rom-com, but we'll
Depends on how you look at it.
yeah, depends on how you look at it. But the way you're looking at it is totally backwards.
This is
Okay.
Ned.
Ned, go ahead.
Elf.
Elf. That is not even close either. Yes, that's close. At least you got the right season. All right, clue number 4. Oh, I gave you clue number 4. Sorry, I might go back to clue number 3. Clue number 4 or 3. It is jam-packed with characters, stories, warmth, and laughs. Jam-packed with characters. Go ahead, Shri.
Space Jam?
Space Jam. I don't think that's the right season to be jolly. But that was a good guess. Thanks for playing. Come again.
Move
All
along.
right, the last clue. This is going to give it away.
I hope so.
One character thinks if he walks into a bar, he'll find a girl who will think his British accent is so cute, she'll want to sleep with him.
This is Shri.
Go ahead, Shri.
4 Weddings and a Funeral?
4 Weddings and a Funeral. That's kind of close, but wrong time of the year, too. All right. Well, no one got it, Johnny. We are going to watch the movie Love Actually, about a dozen or more couples and their various rom-com stories.
And it features our favorite Hugh Grant with the amazing British accent.
Should I get like quarter of a point then?
Yeah, you were really close, but you got the wrong movie.
Close.
But I got Hugh Grant.
No, you didn't say Hugh Grant.
All
Okay,
right,
well,
so
okay.
we'll get to
here
save
we go.
our prize till
save
next
our-
time. What was going to be the prize anyway, Johnny?
It was a great prize. It was a Ken doll dressed in drag and a stuffed lobster. Not a lobster, but a stuffed animal lobster. So it's maybe a good thing nobody won. All right. Thank you, Mr. McCulloch. Oh, wow. Okay. Say goodnight, Mr. McCulloch. Mr. McCulloch, say goodnight. Okay. Oh my God.
Mr. McCulloch.
That music has got to go. Okay, thank you for your wonderful clues, and we can't wait till next week. No, I don't know about that, but okay. So now, just to let you know where we're going, we're going to have our iBug Bite segment where we talk for a few. It's going to be a less than 5-minute little quick demo of how to do something that will be helpful to you on your daily use of your computer. Not computer, iPhone or iDevice, and then we will resume back to the question and answers. So 1 second, we will get everybody muted. All right, Terry Ann, can you come back in?
Okay, am I unmuted?
Yes, you are.
All right.
Perfect.
Yay. Okay, so I'm going to, because somebody was great enough to remind me of that was one of the things that I really did want to demonstrate at some point. I'm going to demonstrate how to select an item in when you have a text field open, and actually not necessarily even when you have a text field open, but when you have a block of text showing on your iPhone. And let's say there's something from that block of text that you want to either select because you want to just cut it out all together, or because you want to copy it to your clipboard and then paste it somewhere else. Maybe it could be in a totally different email, for example. If you have a message open and somebody sent you a message and you want to include part of that person's text message in an email that you're sending to somebody else, you would go into that text message and you would select the text that you want to send to this other person. You copy it to your clipboard, or you could even cut it from the passage, the text passage, and then you would go to your email and you can paste it in there. So what I'm going to do first is, let's see, is that loud enough?
Compose button. Search.
Can you?
No, we
hear
need it
that?
louder than that. You gotta get louder.
Dictate button. Conversations.
How is that?
Unread. Hi. I sent you an email with step-by-step
A
instructions.
little bit louder or get it closer to the mic. Oh.
2 p.m.
Okay, let's see.
Ibug jumpstart mentors.
There you go.
Unread.
Perfect.
Does that
Just a
work?
friendly reminder, if you
Yeah,
have not already
good.
provided feedback to me on this, would you Margaret Willis? Gravy in a jar.
Okay.
1 large or 2 small sweet potatoes.
All right. So I have a text here that is a grocery list that I sent to my friend because she helps me with my grocery shopping.
Messages. Your iMessage. Gravy in a jar.
So let's say I want to copy gravy in a jar to my clipboard. In your what is that called?
Describe images.
Rotor, in your rotor.
In the rotor, thank you. If it's not already in your rotor, you, as somebody mentioned before, you go into your rotor settings in accessibility and select text. I think that's what it's called. And then that will be in your rotor. So if I do the thing where you use your finger and your thumb and go from, well, I'm going to go from right to left.
Braille auto advanced speed. Headings. Speaking rate. Lines. Words. Characters. Actions.
Well, it's just giving me actions at the moment for some reason. So let me see here.
Gravy in a jar. Delivered. Heading level 3. Camera. Message. Today 3:12 p.m. Heading. Today 3. Your iMessage. Gravy in a jar. 1. Your iMessage. Gravy in a jar. 1 large or 2 small sweet potatoes. Describe images. Actions. Characters.
Of course, it doesn't want to go to the selecting the text part.
React. Reply. Copy.
But I can, this will work. I can copy this whole list of items to my clipboard. There's, I think, half a dozen here. So I'm going to double tap on copy. All right. And assuming
images. Actions.
that it did
Characters.
copy.
Actions.
Now I'm
Back button.
going to
Search. Search. Dictate button. Conversations. Dictate. Search. Search. Compose button. Messages. Heading. Edit button. Edit button. Messages. Compose button.
go to
2. Text field.
compose.
Add contact button.
I'm going to add contact.
Cancel. Search. Dictate button. Section index. Adjust B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R. Send IRL. Send IRL. Message button. iPhone. 7. Home. Dismiss context. Dismiss context. Home. Stereotech. iPhone. Home. iPhone. Added recipient. Sent. Record Q. Record audio. Message. iMessage. Text field.
All right. So
Double tap to edit.
I've said that I'm going to send a message to Sandhya. Now I'm going to double tap so that I have an open text field in which to write text.
Apps.
Whoops.
Message. iMessage. Text field. Insertion point at end.
All right. Now.
Text selection.
So
Swipe right to expand selection.
here text selection shows up, but because I already have the items pasted in my clipboard, I'm going to continue to go to the left.
Mentions.
There's mentions.
Misspelled words.
Misspelled
left or right to choose
words.
replacement. Edit.
There's the edit text. And now if I flick up or down, you can go either way. I'm going to flick down.
Paste.
there's paste. And because it's already in, I copied it to the clipboard from the other message. Now I can just double tap.
Gravy in a jar. 1 large or 2 small sweet potatoes. 1 gallon distilled water. 1 package frozen cream spinach. 1 can sliced peaches. 1 cottage cheese with chives. 1 cheetos, if on sale. 1 funayan, if on sale. Lunch, 2 hot dogs with everything except sports peppers.
And there you go. So then I could just send Sandhya this text message and she'd know what my grocery list is. So that's how you select text. Now, if because select text is here,
Spell words, mentions, text selection.
if I wanted to select some of this text and copy it to my clipboard, what I could do is
character selection.
Right now I flick up and I have character selection. Then if I flick to the right with my one finger, well,
selected. S, selected.
Actually, because I'm at the bottom of my text, let me just a second here. Let me go to the top.
Characters. Message S, unselect, show more. Message, text field, is editing. Insertion point at start.
Okay.
Text selection.
Now.
Cap G, select R, A, V, selected. Y, selected.
So I'm selecting one letter at a time, but I can flick down.
Word selection.
Now I have word selection.
Selected. A, selected. Jar, selected.
Okay, now I've selected word by word. If I flick down again.
Line selection. 1 large or 2 small sweet, selected.
So that's one line at a time.
Potatoes, selected.
Okay.
Page selection.
Then there's page selection.
Select all.
And there's select all. So if I just want to, like in one fell swoop, select the entire block of text here, I would go to select all.
Character selection.
And if I flick down again, where we go back to character selection, then once that's selected, you then flick over to
Spell words.
edit, and you find
speak, copy, cut,
copy or cut, either one, whichever you want to do. And you double tap on that, and then that's in your clipboard. And then you would go to whatever other document it is you want to put it in, and then go to paste, like we did just a couple minutes ago when I pasted all of that into this document that I want to send to Sandhya. And that's how you do selecting text. And this works for emails. It works for anything where you're doing any written communication. All right. So does anybody have any? I think that's all I have. So I better turn it back to you, Sandhya.
That is such a powerful demonstration. Thank you, Terry Ann. Anybody have questions for Terry Ann about text selection? Everybody should just unmute yourself.
This is Shri.
Go ahead, Shri.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Terry, good job. There is, unfortunately, when you're looking at a historical on the message, text selection option is not available. It's only available if you had the virtual keyboard and you're actually typing on the message, then only you'll get text selection.
Oh, okay. That's why I missed it. This is Terry. Sorry. That's why I missed it the first time, or that it wasn't there.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Anybody else? Text selection. Yeah, we've talked about different techniques, and this is one of the powerful ones. So there we go. All right. Well, hearing no other questions, we'll move on. Okay. So somebody new that hasn't had a turn, we would love to hear from you.
This is Shri. I've got a question.
Go ahead.
So I got a toy. I've got a new Apple TV. And my question is, when I sign up, will it propagate all the things that are on my other Apple TV to this Apple TV so I don't have to sign into these individual streaming services?
All right. Any Apple TV users out there? Anybody? So
everybody ate too much turkey.
I guess nobody got a new Apple TV. Anybody? No, Shri. I have an Apple TV, but I haven't I don't remember what I did when I got a second one. Wouldn't it just be, okay, you don't want to have to sign in all of your different accounts. Yeah, I see what you're saying. All right, maybe out of luck, Sri.
All right, thank you.
You'll have to do some research and tell us what happens. Okay, who's next? Somebody that hasn't had a turn. Anybody have
This
to
is Jody.
unmute? Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to make a suggestion for Terry for shopping. Instead of putting your grocery list in a text message, you might consider getting the AnyList app, which is free. And you can put all of your items in categories, which is very handy. You can put all the dairy items together and all the deli items together. And then you can share your list with a friend. And then that way, when they open up the AnyList app on their phone, they will see your grocery list. And then that takes a lot of the work out of it. You can dictate items on the list, and then you just swipe them to remove them when you take them off the list. And it's kind of fun because when your friend is shopping, you can actually watch them go through the store as they swipe items off your list as they're going through the store. But it makes things a lot easier for shopping. It's called AnyList, and it's free.
Wow, thank you. Thank you,
right.
Jody. That's a
This is
very
Terry.
useful. Go ahead, Terry.
Yes, thank you for that. I don't know that she's going to want to do that because she's kind of not so tech savvy and likes to do this via text message, but I will, and sometimes we text message back and forth when she has questions about, well, do you want this brand or that kind or whatever? But I will suggest it to her. Thank you. You never know. I might, what is it they say? You can't always teach an old dog new tricks. Well, we'll see how this works out.
Okay, great. Good job.
Thank
Good job,
you.
Jody. Who's next? Anybody new? New question? New suggestion?
This is Joe.
Yes, sir.
I'm not new, but I do have a
I know
question.
you're not new. New question. Go ahead.
Okay. Sometime back, we were talking about when you get an echo on the phone. I'll be talking and I'm hearing my brother talk, but I also hear my echo coming back also. And I'm not using anything fancy, just the cell phone. It's a SE 2020.
Okay. And does it happen consistently or only sometimes?
Not
Some
all the
people-
time. Not all the time.
This is Terry.
Go ahead, Terry.
Is this on a Zoom call or on a phone, a regular cell phone call?
This is Joe.
Yes.
It's a regular cell phone call.
This is Terry.
Go ahead.
I have actually had that happen to me, and then it'll go away. I think it's I don't know that there's a lot you can do about it at the moment, but I know sometimes when I've had that happen, I will say, can I call you back or would you call me back? And sometimes that clears it up. And if that doesn't do it, sometimes I'll have to just turn the phone off and turn it back on and then call that person again. And then it seems to be okay.
Okay. Well, Joe, I don't know if you've tried any of those or maybe you have, but it may be the best workaround. It's pretty annoying when it happens. I know.
This is Shri.
Shri.
Joe, just a curiosity question. Do you know if this happens while you're on a speakerphone or when the phone is next to you on the ear?
Oh my. This is Joe.
Yes, go ahead.
I think it's with speakerphone.
This is Shri.
Yep.
Have you tried to bring it to your ear when it's on, when that happens instead of being on the speakerphone? And does it happen if you've tried that?
This is Joe.
Go ahead.
No, I don't think I've purposely tried that. Usually I just put up with it until the end of the phone call.
This
Go
is
ahead,
true.
Sri. Yeah.
Just a last suggestion for that. Maybe instead, if you don't want to put it by your ear, just put your, a finger over the earpiece, just so that it changes from the speakerphone back to the earpiece, and just to see if that clears it up. Because I suspect this is probably may have to do with it being on the speakerphone.
This
Yes.
is Joe.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. I'll give that a try.
Yes, and maybe you can, I don't know if you use headphones. I mean, that also eliminates a lot of, and speaking of echo, I think I'm echoing here. Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you, Joe, for that question. Who's next? So what I was going to say is using headphones also is very helpful to improve the sound quality and the ability to hear and, be heard. So, and it doesn't have to be any fancy headphones or, $300 AirPods or whatever they are, but you can just use the ones that came with your phone. So
This is Steven.
wired headphones. Go ahead, Steven.
Yeah, I think sometimes what that is, because it can happen on Zoom calls too, like it's done here. Sometimes if it's up too loud, then you'll get that echo. So it might be the other person's volume is too high, or yours may be too high. So yeah, that's usually if it's on the speaker, it might be up just a little bit too loud.
Okay, turn it down. Okay. Thank you, Steven. All right, Joe. That's a good question. Hope it helps. Just call him back. Call your brother back on another call. Okay, who's next? Somebody new? Okay, even if you have asked a question, you can ask a new question.
This is Sri.
Yep.
So I've found out that when I'm moving apps and I'm moving it to a folder, and when I want to rename that folder that I've moved these apps together, two-finger double tap to start dictation does not work. And I was wondering if anyone has experience. This is the first time I've experienced where the two-finger double tap doesn't start dictation.
So you're trying to rename the folder using two-finger dictation, two-finger double tap to start
That's
dictation.
correct.
Okay, anybody? Why is Sri not able to do that? Wants to rename a folder on his home screen.
This is Nancy.
Go ahead.
Sri, have you tried double tapping in the edit box to make sure it's at the beginning? And then sometimes I'll forget to do that and then it won't work. But then if I double tap in the edit box, it will.
This is Sri.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so I do get the virtual keyboard and I do hear the insertion point being at start being stated.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Thank you, Nancy. Anybody else?
This is Terry.
Go ahead, Terry.
I know there has been a bug, a huge bug in, I don't know if it started in 14, the late 14 point whatever, or just in 15, but where folders were erased and apps were just all jumbled together. And I wonder if this is a bug related to that problem, because it's my understanding that has not been fully solved. So I wonder if this has something to do with that.
Okay, so maybe it's a related bug, Sri. Not probably what you want to hear, but you could always just type it in, right?
This is Marty.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering, because since you're only typing a name in, whether dictation is not an option, because it's not like you can type a whole phrase or a sentence. In a name, you can just simply type that on the screen. I've never done dictation when I've renamed a folder, just typed it in.
This is Sri.
Yep.
So the microphone does work. So if I double tap on the microphone, I can dictate it that way. So I know dictation is working. It's just the 2-finger double tap doesn't initiate it.
So you could just still do it the other way. You just want to be difficult, right?
No, I'm being this is true.
Yeah.
I'm being a blind person who doesn't want to search for a microphone.
But for people who don't know where that microphone is, it's usually to the right of the space bar, left of the space bar, right?
This is true.
Yep.
So if you have I believe if you have a 10R and your dictation is on the bottom right. And then if you have an older phone, it's to the left of the space bar is what I believe. I can't remember if it's the 10R, the 10S, but somewhere the microphone got moved to the bottom right.
Yeah, I remember that. There was a lot of consternation when that happened. Okay, thank you, Sri.
This is Marty.
Go ahead.
An older phone, like an iPhone 8 with a home button, the dictation is to the left of the home button, sort of to the left of the space bar.
Okay, thank you, Marty, for that clarification. And I don't know why. Okay. All right, thank you. Who's got the next question?
This is Nancy.
Yes, go ahead.
So I am still learning my watch, my Apple Watch SE. And I thought I understood that if your phone is on, then you don't have to type in your password. Okay, so if let's see, let me say this right. I've taken my watch off the charger and I put it on my wrist and my phone is on and open. I thought if that was the case, then you didn't have to type in your password once you put your watch on. Is that not correct?
All right, any Apple Watch users want to help Nancy?
This is Chanel.
Go ahead, Chanel.
So sometimes I find with my Apple Watch, if I want to make my phone unlock it, sometimes it does do it. It just takes a couple minutes. Other times what I'll do is I'll just lock my phone and then unlock it. And then that will unlock the watch. But yes, it is actually supposed to do that. If your phone is unlocked, it should unlock the Apple Watch, but it doesn't always work that way. At least for me.
This is David.
David.
It's my understanding that, like, say you've got your phone already unlocked and then you put your watch on, you're still going to need to lock your watch. Lock your phone and unlock it while the watch is actually attached to your wrist. So once the watch is attached to your wrist, there has to be at least one phone unlocking with either your PIN or your face recognition before it's going to unlock the watch. It just won't automatically unlock itself just because your phone is already unlocked.
Oh, it has to verify that it was you that unlocked the phone.
That's another. Yeah, I think that's.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, so if they steal your watch and your phone, then you can't just, they're gonna have a problem.
Right.
I guess that's one scenario. But I think that's pretty much how it works. I mean, I've never had it work the other way, where it would just automatically come on just because my watch. I'm like, I keep saying watch because my phone was already unlocked.
Okay. Thank you, David, for that insight. Okay, Nancy, hope that helps.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, while we're on, anybody else? New question. Somebody hasn't had a turn. Love to hear from you. Anybody? Okay, well, I have a quick question about the watch, since we're on the topic of watches. So suppose I'm wearing my watch and then I get a notification, it vibrates, something, either a text or something came in, and I thought it would tell me, like, Chanel called or text from Chanel, something, like that. But I thought I did like a 2-finger swipe down and then I would get my notifications. I thought that worked, but all that's doing is moving me through my app. So what have I done wrong? Anybody? Or Apple Watch?
This is Marty.
Yes, sir.
When you say you're getting, when do you swipe, like, do you wake up your watch before you swipe down, or because usually what I do when I get a notification, I wake the watch up by pressing the crown, and then usually if you swipe right, you can read it, and then if you swipe right again, you can dismiss it.
Okay, no, I wasn't doing all that, so I'll have to try that.
This is David.
Yes, sir.
I believe you have to be on the watch face for that 2-finger swipe down to work. If you're on the app view, it just shows you all your apps. It won't show your notifications.
So like wherever your little, mine has like a butterfly or whatever. So right there, swipe down.
Well, you just press your crown and it'll say, if you have the voiceover turn, it'll say the time, and then you're on the watch face, and then you just swipe down the 2-finger like you would on your phone.
I guess I won't admit that I rarely use the crown. Okay, just still learning.
Well, that's how I do it. Maybe that's not the proper way, but it seems like the crown toggles you from either watch face to the that little app
view
where it shows all your apps. So I rarely use the app view. I just mainly use the watch face part. But a lot of times when you wake up your watch, it'll be on the. It's kind of inconsistent. I don't know if that's just because of voiceover or that's just how the watch is, but it's not always defaulting to the watch face when I wake the watch.
Okay.
But you can press that crown, it'll toggle, between the two.
This is Marty.
Yes, sir.
I thought the only way to get to your app view is when you've woken up the watch by pressing the crown. If you press that button below the crown, like the hidden button, that usually gets you to it gets you to your most common apps, and then you have to go and then where it says all apps, double tap that, and then it will show you all of your apps.
Okay.
If you follow what I'm saying.
Right. I think there's like a dock on the watch as well.
Yeah, it's a dock. I guess that's what.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay, I'll have to do a
This
little
is
more.
Sri.
Yes, sir.
So how do you use your watch to tell time? Do you do raised awake or did you tap to wake? I mean, how do you tell the
Tap to wake? I don't like raised to wake.
So when you say tap, when you do tap to wake,
I just touch the phone. Yeah.
Right. So
I touch
then
the
do
watch.
you,
sorry.
No, so when you have it, when it tells you the time, are you able to do a 2-finger swipe, swipe down or up?
Yeah, I should. So what I was doing is then I guess I was hitting the crown to open it up, and then I was trying to do the 2-finger swipe down. And I think I should have been doing it without doing the crown, is what I think I'm hearing, right?
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think because usually what I do is I just, I do the same thing. I tap to tell the time, then I know that my watch is awake, and then I would do the 2-finger swipe down.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. I will trying to use my watch a lot more, and it is great. I really do find it very convenient. So, okay, who's next? Anybody new? Any questions? New apps people are using, problems they're encountering, anything?
This is Shri.
Yep.
Can I ask like a Black Friday iOS question?
Oh, I was just going to go there. Go ahead.
So I was just kind of curious if anyone found anything really interesting for their any other iOS device or any of the devices that we can talk about.
Yeah, and anybody buy any new cool Black Friday presents for themselves? Not for anybody else, just for yourself.
This is David.
David.
Well, I broke down and finally bought AirPods Pro.
Cool.
They're $169.
Very
Amazon.
nice.
That seems like a pretty good price.
Did
So
you
they
get
should
them
arrive
yet,
tomorrow,
or
I think.
what-
They
when are
should
they
arrive tomorrow.
tomorrow? Okay.
Yeah.
This is Nikki.
I'm
Nikki,
used to
go
my
ahead.
Amazon stuff
Oh.
showing up like within 6 hours, but it like, yeah, I guess a little back order.
Just a little. Okay, thanks, David. You're gonna love those, especially on Metrolift. Okay, Brad. I mean, not Brad. Nikki.
Well, I was on a CCB chat with the Bayview chapter this afternoon, and I was complaining because one of the guys on there, his name is Ray. He's part of the Lighthouse for the Blind as well. And he goes to the Thursday night program on Yesterday USA Radio, and I haven't been able to get through on the link for about a month or so. And everybody keeps saying, well, get an Echo, get an Echo, get an Alexa. So I said, and right now I'm having some financial difficulties. So somebody said, well, why don't you just get Alexa? And I said, well, I can't afford it. And they said, well, you can get one for $15. I said, are you kidding? So I looked on Amazon, and it was $20 for the Echo Dot.
Okay,
And
hold
one of
on.
those
I gotta
crazy.
stop you, Nikki, because we
Sorry.
are gonna stick
Oh,
to
okay.
Alexa apps. We can't really talk about other Alexa
Oh, I'm
products.
sorry. Okay.
That's okay.
All
That's
right.
okay. But yeah, call us back on the Android call and we can talk all about Alexa.
Oh, okay.
But yes,
Thank
okay.
you.
No,
So
great.
that was a
No,
gift
it's very
I got for
exciting.
myself.
Very exciting. And you definitely can talk about the Alexa app. And I have a question real quick about Amazon. I was trying to buy something and it said, like, I found the product that I wanted, and then it said Black Friday deal or Cyber Monday deal, whatever it was. And I didn't really care. I just wanted to order the thing that I wanted. But then it took me into the list of every single thing that was on sale for Black Friday or Cyber Monday or whatever it was. Did anybody encounter that? And I didn't know how to get out of it. It was so frustrating.
This is Sri.
Yes.
So there are some headers that was there on the app, and one of them is your Black Friday Cyber Monday deal. Did you click on that, or were you already in an item that you wanted to buy?
I was in an item, and it told me the Black Friday deal, but I didn't. I didn't even know. I didn't really care about the deal. I just wanted to buy the thing. And there's Nico again. Hold on.
This
Yes.
is Marty.
Go ahead.
When you're in, do you buy your item on Amazon by adding it to the cart, or do you do the buy now button?
Oh, Barney, what do you think? Buy now.
Okay, no, because I know sometimes you can't and you have to do the add to cart, but I do the buy now.
Yeah, a cart is very frustrating.
It should bring you to the place your order.
Yeah, it was very frustrating. So then I just gave up because I just kept seeing, no, this is one of 2,000 different items that are on sale. And I was like, I don't want to see those. Okay.
This is Sri.
Sri.
Oh, sorry.
Sri and
Were
then Nikki.
those things that were kind of like the added to the shopping cart item? Like, you know how they try to upsell you some other stuff? Is that where you're landing on?
No, it wasn't even. These are just totally unrelated to what I was looking at. It was just like all of their items that were on Black Friday. I mean, I guess it's a moot point because Black Friday's over and Cyber Monday's over. But in the future, I just, it's kind of.
This is Terry.
Okay, Nikki and then Terry.
Okay, I just wanted to make a suggestion. When I went to Amazon, I wasn't going to get the product until December 27th. So I called, or I ordered it from Best Buy. And Best Buy matches all the things, and I'm going to get it tomorrow. So,
wow.
Yeah. So try Best Buy because, and you can, it's a much easier website than than Amazon.
Okay. All right, Terry.
I was having difficulty today with the Amazon website because I would double tap on something I was interested in, and then I would have a blank screen. And I know this has been a problem in the past. Then I did it again and it was fine. So I wonder, and then there was one time when I double tapped on an item, but I wanted to see some similar items. And I got to some goofy screen that I just could not get out of to save my soul. So I had to use the home button. I have an SE and go back to the home screen and then get back into the Amazon app. So I sometimes it's still, even though they have fixed it, I think there are still times when it doesn't always work as it should. And I wonder if this is one of those situations you've encountered.
This is Jody.
Jody.
I have an idea that their servers were a bit overwhelmed today, being Cyber Monday and everything. It could just be that they couldn't keep up on the web, the servers couldn't keep up with the demand.
Right. That's a good point. But like I was doing some of this on Saturday and it was trying to tell me Cyber Monday deals. And I was like, dude, I know it's not Cyber Monday yet. And I don't want to wait till Cyber Monday. So it was a little, anyway, I don't want to beat a dead horse. So, okay. Well, thank you. Anybody else have any issues with Black Friday shopping?
Michael?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, speaking of the Amazon app, have anybody noticed certain products that used to would come from Amazon, they've moved to Amazon Fresh now? Like hair products I used to order and products for other body parts.
Oh my
like some of
God.
those that we mentioned earlier tonight.
Your glabiola.
There, and I don't like it because the Amazon Fresh, they still deliver it free, but they add a tip on there because it's their delivery service. It's not directly Amazon Amazon delivery. So I don't know if anybody's noticed that on any of their orders.
This is Terry.
Go ahead.
It's been that way for quite some time, actually. And sometimes there is, I guess it's the tip, and sometimes there's been an extra charge as well. And I don't like it either.
Yeah,
This is-
Michael,
Yes.
I'm aware Amazon Fresh has been that way. It was just certain products have moved from the regular Amazon to Amazon Fresh now. And I don't know, that may be because we've got several distribution centers here in Houston. They can get them here faster or something. I don't know.
Okay, I heard some. Okay, sorry. Were you done, sir?
Sorry. Yep, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay.
This is Shri.
Yes.
So Michael, so that product is not available at all. So you can only get it through, even if you went into like page 4 or 5, somebody else doesn't sell it.
I didn't actually. It's a product that I've been ordering, for years, and always got it on Amazon. So I went to the same, did a same search, and it pops up on my search bar, and so I just automatically go there. But then when I get ready to check out, it moves it and says it's going to be delivered by Amazon Fresh. So that was.
This is Shri.
Yes.
So one of my experience with doing shopping on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, like I found some items in one page at a certain price, and then I'd go deeper in and I'd find it less coming from the same vendor at a lower price. Like I bought some some Casa bulbs, and there were different prices in different pages.
Okay.
So I was just wondering if your product was available in some other pages, but not in the main initial pages.
Yeah, I did not actually check that. So.
All right. Who's next?
This is Roy.
Yes, sir.
I had a question about Amazon as well. It doesn't pertain to Michael's dimple cream or anything.
Butt dimple cream.
I thought that's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said. Okay, go ahead.
I use the actual website. I don't use the app, but I added something and it ended up in the Fresh cart as well. And I can't figure out how to remove from Fresh. I know how to do it from the regular cart, but does anybody experience that on Safari? Putting something in the Fresh cart, which is different than the regular Amazon cart, and how you remove something?
Okay, anybody Amazon website users? I know we have some out there.
Well, this
Okay.
is Nikki.
Yes, go
I
ahead.
hate to say this, but I have no idea because that's happened to me before. And what happens is if you look at something in one area, they'll do something else. You know, they'll send you somewhere, or they'll put you somewhere, or they'll send you an email, or they'll send you a text. They're watching what you do, and it's getting really insane. And you can't get out of a certain area. This happened to me too. I just turned it off and try to go back later, and then it sort of forgot about me, so I can get back in.
This is Shri.
Okay. Thank
Good
you. Go
luck.
ahead, Shri.
Well, one time I had a car in my shopping cart, an actual car, and I could not get it out. So I ended up calling Amazon Accessibility, and they were able to go in the back end and remove it. So I'm going to speculate that they could probably remove it somehow in the back end if you can't find it in the front end.
Shri.
Yeah.
What kind of car was it?
I have no idea. It just said a car.
Could have been a toy car. You think it was a real car?
No, it was a real car.
Okay.
Believe me, it was a real car.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks, Shri. Wish you knew what kind of car it was. Maybe it was a Tesla. Maybe it was a Tesla. Okay. All right. Who's next? Somebody new?
This is Jody.
Yes, Jody.
I hate to think of how much that would have been, but
I know.
I want to talk about something that actually works. I went into my Discover Card app today, and it's very accessible, which is very refreshing, because I'm doing paperless, billing and everything with Discover. But the other thing that's really cool about Discover, if you have a Discover Card, you can get it in Braille.
Fancy. Yes, we have to talk about that. Okay, that is great news and good to know the Discover app is accessible. So thank you, Jody. Anybody else want to share any good news like that? Anybody else? This is when I have all these questions and then I forget what they are. So. Anybody?
This is Dan.
Oh, yes. Go ahead, Dan.
I just wanted to say that Chase does something similar. You can get a Chase card in Braille with the cover that lists all the important information.
Oh, cool. And definitely those Braille would be helpful because like one time Herbie and I got our cards switched and well, it was interesting. So real quick, what I was going to ask was in the Bard app, if you subscribe to a magazine, shouldn't it automatically populate in your, I don't know where, shouldn't it be in your wish list or shouldn't it automatically go there? And it's not happening. So does anybody have any thoughts about that?
This is Dan.
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't automatically do that. I don't remember what I actually did, but you have to go into settings and find Bard, and there's a setting in there that deals with that. I forget what it was, but but that's the basic answer for that. It won't automatically do what you want. I encountered the same thing.
Yeah, because you subscribe, right? So I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be there every week or whatever. So
I know.
Okay,
so
you're saying there is a setting and then you can make it do that, or you can't ever?
You can make it do that, but you have to go into settings.
Settings.
You have to get in, and you have to bring up Bard, and there's a setting in there. I forget what it's called, but it has something to do with subscribe, and I think you'll figure it out.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Dan, because I get very frustrated. Okay. All right. Well, we are at the conclusion of our meeting. Terry Ann, thank you and welcome aboard. And thank you so much for all your help tonight. Thank you for all of y'all's questions. It was so much fun, and keep coming back and bringing your questions and answers because we are all learning together. Real quick rundown of tomorrow: Clubhouse 5 to 6, Ibug Mini Buzz on Wednesday, iBug Mac Buzz on Clubhouse from 5 to 7. Trekkie Talk from 8 to 9:30. No, Friday, iBug Night at the Virtual Movies, watching Love Actually with Hugh Grant. And then Saturday is Ibug Unplugged at 8 p.m. on Clubhouse. So lots to look forward to. Hope that you'll join us for any and all of these events. Hope you all have a fabulous week, and we will see you back next week. Thank you and good night.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you for all